Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or NAW foundation review on, got my Sephora bag right here, the Smashbox Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. So this is supposed to be a weightless feel, oil and shine control foundation. It's infused with kaolin clay and bamboo powder. So this sounds like it could be right up my alley, considering the fact that I am an oily skin lady. I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious about this, so I just want to go ahead and hop right into this. Before I do hop into this though, I want to talk about the price. This did cost $38.16. Also got a sample from Sephora. I got the Smashbox Oil Control Primer. Now, I do want to say that this one does have silicone, and this foundation is, I think they said, water-based. So I kind of don't want to mix them together because it made me make more oily. So I'm going to have to save this Smashbox primer for another occasion. You guys know I love my samples. So I'm going to put this bag over here. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is use primer. I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Lock Primer, and I'm just going to be placing this all over my face, and you can see like it immediately mattifies my skin in like the best possible way. I already went ahead with moisturizer. Right now it is early in the morning, it's about 7:30, so I did like my whole morning skincare routine, which stay tuned, that is coming soon. As soon as I get through all these foundation reviews, that will be coming. Okay, so now we're gonna come a little bit closer so we can get right into this foundation review. This side of the face, I'm gonna be using my sponge, and then this side of the face, I'm going to be using my brush. I'm gonna go ahead and open this. I was matched to the shade 3.05, Skin Tone Medium, Undertone Warm Golden. Now, I have tried the foundation by Smashbox that's like in the glass bottle, and I really did enjoy that foundation for a while. I was like obsessed with it, but now it looks like this. It comes in the squeeze tube, which is really nice for like traveling and stuff. But let's see what else it says about the foundation before we get into it. So it's supposed to be a 24-hour full coverage, packed with pigment. It smooths with hyaluronic acid. It has that oil and shine control like I mentioned. It's a soft focus blurring effect, and it's waterproof. It's sweat and humidity resistant. So, I mean, that's awesome. It does say to start with the Photo Finish Primer, which is one of the primers that they have. They also have really great primers. It does say right here that very little of it goes a long way, so we're not going to use anything too crazy, but we definitely do want to have fun with this. So I'm going to go ahead and pump this bad boy out. This is the consistency. It is a very clay-like consistency, so it's probably true to its claim with the infused with kaolin clay, because I definitely see it not moving. So I'm gonna go ahead. It feels very nice and silky. Apply it on this side. Now, I did a shade match on Sephora's app, and I always put my reference as Huda Beauty Baklava because that's like one of my closest shades when it comes to foundations. I found that with that, it just worked great. So I'm gonna be taking my sponge. Ooh, yeah. This is matte. But it's not like ugly matte. It's like a very like smooth matte. You can tell that it just kind of sinks into the skin like a nice powder finish. It blends very, very easily too. It blends a little bit easier than the Urban Decay one, which you guys know that's another one that's pretty matte. Right off the bat, I would say just by the way this is setting onto my skin, and by the way it's looking, I would not recommend this for dry skin people because it definitely separates very easily. It's applying well with the sponge. The sponge isn't absorbing the product or anything like that. I feel like the product is staying exactly in place. I really like how it feels when I first touch it though. Just feels really good. That's really good coverage. It's supposed to give me a weightless, comfortable feel, which I definitely am feeling. Like when I'm like moving my face and stuff, it doesn't feel like I'm wearing like this heavy foundation. It gives me this really smooth effect. Working really nicely with the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer. which I'm like, yes, give it to me. We still have product left, so I'm just gonna go in little areas and kind of add a little bit more, see how this builds up. I think because the product is so weightless, it allows you to really be able to not have to work so fast with the foundation. But I'm loving this coverage. Holy shiz. Do you see how good that looks? Like, it looks really, really good. That is a beautiful finish. I think color-wise, I'm good too. Like, I really like this color. That's how much I have left. I still have a good chunk left, which I really love how covered this side is, so I don't think I'm gonna be using any more on this side. I think this is perfect. So with one pump, I was able to really cover everything I needed to cover. I really like how it applied with the sponge. I feel like it just gave it this beautiful effect. I also just really like how it's laying on my skin. Like, it's giving me a really perfected look, and it's giving me a finish that sometimes foundations that tend to be matte just don't give me. They kind of give me a more like dried up effect, but this is giving me like skin vibes, like really, really velvety skin. Okay, so now I'm gonna be going in with my Morphe JH03 brush, and I'm going to be using this to apply foundation on this side of my face. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with this little redness I have over here and use the rest of what I have left. So what we had left of that pump we did on this side to cover the full face, we were able to cover a good portion of the cheek. And you guys know the cheek is my most problematic area because of my redness. Now, my redness hasn't been that flared up right now, but you guys saw how it covered that red spot super duper fast, like unbelievably fast. So I have this much left now, and I'm gonna be using that part right on the nose. You guys know me, I'm the type of person that I don't like to waste foundation. Like, I will literally use all I have because I'm like, nope, that just looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna be taking a little bit more product, not too much because this is really full coverage. That much should be good to cover my forehead because my forehead is pretty evened out. Guys, I don't know, but I'm really liking this foundation, like a lot. That's saying something because this early on, I'm usually like liking something, but like I am shook. And to be honest, I'm not really hearing many people talk about this. I think that's another reason why I waited a while to kind of review this, was because I was like, I don't know if they're really gonna wanna see this. I don't hear many people talking about it, so I don't know, but wow. Now on the nose, I always like to use a sponge to apply. I don't know why, I just feel like it applies better because sometimes on my nose, like product will sometimes separate. So the nose, I always really go in with the sponge and really give it that life. But honestly, this is a foundation that you can use either a brush or a sponge and you will have phenomenal results with it. So I am definitely a fan of that. It looks so pretty. Okay, let me put the foundation to the side. Oh, the foundation does have one standard size, which is great. Also, this foundation does last you for 24 months. After 24 months, you want to get rid of it because it will expire. But that's a good time frame because a lot of foundations are between like 6 to 12 months. So 24 months, you get a really good wear, especially if you're not somebody that wears foundation all the time. That's something, you know, nice to know. But I do want to go ahead and just kind of look at the foundation in depth with you guys. It doesn't feel like I have heavy foundation on, but I have the full finish of a full coverage foundation. It still looks a little bit fresh, like in the areas where it needs to look, like it still looks like skin, even though I'm getting a very nice matte effect with this. The only thing I am noticing, and I think it's because it is kind of like a clay-like consistency, is that it's kind of setting into like my fine line right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of blend that out. And I'm also gonna go ahead and set that with powder so that it doesn't really crease, because I do want this foundation to just kind of look perfected. I'm a little bit nervous to see how it's gonna work with like baking my under eyes, because you guys know that when you use a more matte foundation, it tends to kind of make everything look a little bit more dry in that area. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. But right now, the finish it's giving me, I'm just like, yes. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and then I'm gonna come back on camera and give you guys my very first initial thoughts on the product, and then we can go ahead and get our day started. I'm just excited because I'm about to slay this face and come back with like a full beat. So I'll see you guys shortly. Okay guys, so I am back. I finished my entire face of makeup. All the details on this makeup look will be listed down below in my description box for you guys. But I just wanna go ahead and get right into this foundation. So the foundation worked well with everything, which I was very happy about. I did go ahead and bake my under eyes. I had no issues with it. It didn't dry out or anything. I didn't leave the baking powder on for too long. I literally just applied it for about like 30 seconds to like a minute at most, and then I just dusted it away right away, and there's no creasing, no nothing. It looked very nice and smooth. It looks very nice and smooth in the area where I did go ahead and powder, so that's a positive. Sometimes I get a little scared with my more mattifying foundations because it tends to give me a little bit of a drier effect, or tends to break apart, but I had no issues with this foundation whatsoever when it came to that aspect of it. Another thing that I did enjoy is how everything else applied. My bronzer looks really nice and pigmented. It looks really nice and smooth, as well as my blush. It just looks beautiful. I used Cokie blush, and then I used Champagne Pop Highlighter by Becca with Jaclyn Hill, and I just feel like everything just came together so nicely. The foundation definitely set into the skin in this nice like soft powdered effect, which I'm definitely a fan of. I just feel like it makes my skin look so nice and smooth. I think it's like that nice smoothing effect that this offers, because I'm pretty sure this did say, yes, so it has a soft focus blurring effect. And I'm noticing that. I feel like it gives me a really good blurring effect. I'm excited about the oil and shine control. I'm hoping that it works well with me. I tend to have a very oily T-zone and smile lines, very, very oily. So I'm hoping that this will hold up through the day. It is a hot summer day, so we're gonna put this to the test all day long. It's 24-hour full coverage, and it's waterproof. So I definitely do see that full coverage effect of this foundation, because it covered really quick with just one pump of it out on this side, and then this side as well. Like I really am liking it thus far. I will be doing a natural lighting check-in with you guys so you guys can see up close with the natural lighting. So I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with the rest of my day. Right now it is 9:23 a.m. And like I said, I'll come back and give you guys an in natural lighting check-in so we can just really look up close. But I'll be seeing you guys later. Stay tuned till the very end to see if this Smashbox full coverage 24-hour foundation is worth the buy or not. Hey guys, so I am back. It is officially the end of the day right now. It is 7:24 p.m. And I have some well-developed thoughts on this new Smashbox foundation. So I want to start off with just what's going on right here, right off the bat. You guys can see that we are a little bit dewy, right in the areas where I typically get dewy. It's not that bad, but it's definitely there. So if you are expecting this to be like completely matte, no free the entire day, you're probably gonna see some shine peek through. Now, I do have to say, speaking of that aspect of it, during the first half of the day when I was wearing this, my makeup looked absolutely flawless. Like I just loved the way that this foundation was on the skin. The finish it was giving me was reminding me so much of my favorite foundation for the summer, which is the Pure 4-in-1 foundation. This foundation was like heaven for me. But this Smashbox did remind me in formula-wise and how it set on my face like that foundation. Now, as the day progressed, it started to get a little bit iffy. It wasn't as comparable to my Pure one as I would have hoped for. So as you guys can see, it's not that bad, but it does transfer. So you have to be careful. If you're gonna be touching your face or something like that, be mindful that there will be areas where the product will come off. So you want to be very careful. So if you're somebody that's like, oh, I have a little bit of oil, let me just use my fingers. Don't use your fingers. I would probably say go in with a sponge and kind of set it, even though it's gonna shear it out a little bit. It sheared it out a little bit right there, right now, just doing that. But I wouldn't use your fingers because your fingers will definitely like make the product come off. Now another thing that I did appreciate was that the foundation didn't feel that sticky like some other foundations. It does feel a little tiny bit, but not as bad as some other ones, which I enjoy because I hate when a foundation feels too sticky. It just does not work with me. So I like that part of it. And also the color, I think the color was pretty good. The one that I got was 3.05. I always recommend you guys shade matching yourselves on Sephora's app. They have that shade matcher and it works really well. So I would recommend using that. Overall, what do I think of this foundation? I feel like it has a very beautiful finish. I don't think it's as long wearing as it states, just because I feel like if it's able to transfer easily, it's just kind of like, ooh. Right now for this summer season, it's a little bit more on the be careful if you're touching because it will transfer. I feel like for somebody that has like normal to combination skin that's looking for a nice matte foundation, I think you will absolutely love this because it will keep you matte. Also, my people that like natural makeup, you probably won't like this either because this is a full coverage makeup. It doesn't feel full coverage, but it is full coverage, like it will cover you quickly. As for me, I feel like when I go in with like my gripping primer and also with like maybe my Becca matte primer, or yeah, probably my Becca one because that one's like my most matte, I think I will be in good shape for this not transferring as much as it would today when I just use my matte primer. But I feel like maybe also if you do have very oily skin and you want to bake it a little bit, that will be helpful for you. I feel like what's really kind of keeping me wanting to continue to try it out and not being like, oh no, this is not worth the buy, is because the finish, I really like that finish. It was so pretty. But I just feel like there's definitely some things in this foundation that could be better. But I do have to say Smashbox does always a good job of coming out with really good foundations. Their past one was a very nice foundation. They don't come out with foundations like every year. They really take their time in coming out with really good products, which I definitely salute them for. I feel like the formula and the way that my skin looked and how smooth it looked, I was just like, yes, yes. So I feel like perhaps just changing my primer and baking it, especially in the areas where I tend to get very oily, considering the fact that we now know that it does work well with some powders, I think we'll be in great shape. Those are all my thoughts. Let me know if you guys have tried the Smashbox foundation. I want to know your thoughts on it. If you have any recommendations about this foundation or how you like to wear it. I love hearing all your suggestions. You guys are like my internet BFFs and I love it so much. Also, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing these types of videos for you guys because I really enjoy doing them. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already and become a member of family here on YouTube because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. That being said, I love you guys so much and I will see you again in my next one.